The galaxy had known peace for 12,000 years. The Consortium of United Species controlled everything from the spiral arms of Andromeda to the quiet dust clouds of the Milky Way. 17 species worked together under one government. They shared technology, they shared resources, they shared power, or so they claimed. Ambassador Velith of the Koravan species stood on the observation deck of the great station called Unity Prime. His 4 eyes watched the blue planet, spinning slowly in the darkness below. Earth, the newest discovery. The youngest civilization to be found in 3 centuries. The humans had only just learned to travel between stars. Their ships were slow and primitive. Their weapons were laughable. Their understanding of physics was centuries behind even the most backward Consortium species. Velith felt nothing but contempt when he looked at their world. "They have refused again," said Commander Desix, approaching from behind. The Desix was a reptilian creature with scales that shifted color with emotion. Right now, they burned angry red. Velith did not turn around. Refused what exactly? Everything, the trade agreements, the military partnership, the cultural exchange programs. They want to negotiate terms. Velith laughed. It was a cold sound that echoed off the metal walls. Negotiate? They have nothing to negotiate with. Their entire military fleet could not scratch the paint on one of our cruisers. That is what I told their representative. Ambassador Chen simply smiled and said Earth would speak once, and we should listen carefully when it did. This caught Velith's attention. He turned to face Desix. Speak once? What does that mean? I do not know, but she seemed very confident. Too confident for a species in their position. The Consortium had a system for handling new civilizations. First came contact, then came evaluation, then came integration. Every species followed the same path. They accepted Consortium law. They contributed resources and labor. They received protection and technology in return. No species had ever refused. The benefits were too great. The alternative was too terrible. Isolation meant death in this galaxy. Alone, a species faced pirates, rogue empires, and cosmic disasters without support. The Consortium offered safety. All it asked in return was obedience. But the humans kept saying no. Director Morvith called an emergency meeting of the High Council 3 days later. Morvith belonged to the Synthi species, beings of pure energy contained in mechanical shells. He had led the Consortium for 900 years. He had seen species rise and fall. He had guided the integration of 6 civilizations personally. He had never seen anything like the humans. They are stalling, Morvith said, his voice crackling through his metal form. Every day they refuse us is another day they grow stronger. We have detected new construction in their orbital stations. They are building something. Building what? Asked Representative Koth of the Brolin, massive creatures with 6 arms and skin like stone. Unknown. Our scanners cannot penetrate their facilities. They have developed some kind of interference field. This caused murmuring around the council chamber. Interference technology was advanced. Very advanced. How did such a primitive species create something even Consortium scanners could not defeat? Perhaps we should simply force the issue, Velith suggested. Send a fleet. Blockade their world. They will submit within a month. Many council members nodded in agreement. This approach had worked before. Species that resisted initially always surrendered when faced with overwhelming power. Hunger and desperation were excellent negotiation tools. Morvith considered the suggestion. Very well. But we give them one final chance. Send a message. Tell them they have 7 standard cycles to accept our terms. If they refuse, we will implement trade restrictions. The message was sent. Earth received it. Earth read it. Earth responded. Ambassador Chen appeared on every communication screen across the Consortium simultaneously. This should have been impossible. Consortium communication networks were encrypted and secured by technology thousands of years more advanced than anything humans possessed. Yet there she was, a small woman with gray hair and calm eyes, speaking to billions of beings across 1,000 worlds. "People of the Consortium," she said, "we have listened to your offers. We have studied your demands. We understand what you want from us. You want our obedience. You want our resources. You want our submission. You believe we have no choice because we are young and weak and alone." She paused, and her smile was strange. It held no fear. It held no anger. It held something far more disturbing. It held pity. "You have made a mistake. You have looked at our ships and seen primitives. You have looked at our weapons and seen children playing with toys. But you did not look deeper. You did not ask why a species so young could develop interference fields your technology cannot penetrate. You did not ask why we refuse your offers when refusal seems like madness." Chun leaned forward, and her voice dropped lower. "Earth speaks once. Listen carefully." The screens changed. Star charts appeared showing the entire Consortium territory. 17 species spread across 40,000 star systems. A civilization that had endured for 12 millennia. Then the charts began to change. Red dots appeared on every Consortium world. Hundreds of them. Thousands of them. Red dots on the capital planets. Red dots on the military stations. Red dots on the resource centers. Red dots everywhere. "These are the devices we have placed throughout your territory over the past 6 years, Chun explained. "Since before you even knew we existed. Since before your scouts found our world, we have been watching you. We have been preparing." Morvath's energy form flickered with shock. "Impossible. We discovered their civilization only 2 years ago." "No," Chun said, as if she could hear him. "You discovered the civilization we wanted you to find. A primitive species. A young species. A species that posed no threat. That is what we showed you. That is what you believed, because it matched your expectations." The council chamber had gone completely silent. Every member stared at the red dots covering their territories. "Those devices are not weapons," Chun continued. "We are not interested in destroying you. Destruction is easy. Destruction proves nothing. Instead, those devices contain information. Every crime the Consortium has committed in 12,000 years. Every species you have absorbed against their will. Every rebellion you have crushed. Every resource you have stolen. Every life you have ended to maintain your power." She smiled again. "In exactly 1 hour, that information will be released to every citizen on every world. Not to your leaders. Not to your governments, to your people. They will learn how the Koravan homeworld was conquered through engineered disease. They will learn how the Broen were addicted to synthetic compounds to ensure their compliance. They will learn how the Synthi were threatened with extinction unless they joined. They will learn everything." Veleth stood frozen in horror. Those were Consortium secrets. Secrets buried so deep that even most council members did not know them. Secrets that held the entire alliance together through shared guilt and mutual blackmail. "You have built your civilization on lies," Chun said. "Lies that the conquered tell to comfort themselves. Lies that the conquerors tell to justify their actions. We are simply going to reveal the truth." Director Morvath managed to speak. "What do you want? Name your price. Anything. We can negotiate." "Earth does not negotiate. Earth speaks once. We are not joining your Consortium. We are not fighting your Consortium. We are simply letting your Consortium see itself clearly for the first time." The transmission ended. Chaos erupted across the council chamber. Representatives screamed at each other. Accusations flew. 17 species, who had pretended to be allies for 12,000 years, suddenly remembered that they were not allies at all. They were victims and victimizers trapped in a system of mutual exploitation. The hour passed. The information released. And the Consortium collapsed completely. It did not happen in a day. It took 3 years. But once the truth spread, nothing could stop it. The Broen learned that their addiction to synthetic compounds was not a natural development but something engineered by the Koravan to keep them docile. The Koravan learned that the disease that nearly destroyed their world was created by the Synthi. The Synthi learned that their mechanical forms were not chosen but forced upon them by species that feared their natural abilities. Every species learned that they had been manipulated. Every species learned that they had also manipulated others. Guilt mixed with rage. Rage mixed with shame. Alliances shattered. Trade routes closed. Military forces that had kept the peace for millennia turned against each other as old grievances finally found expression. Earth watched it all from a safe distance. Some species came to humans asking for help. Earth welcomed them. Refugees found shelter on human colonies. Former Consortium scientists found labs where they could work freely. Beings who had suffered under the old system found a place where suffering was not required. Some species came to humans demanding revenge. Earth defended itself. The weapons humans revealed were nothing like the primitive tools they had shown the Consortium. Generations of secret development had created technology that matched or exceeded anything the galaxy had seen. Ships that moved through dimensions the Consortium did not know existed. Energy systems that drew power from the fabric of space itself. Defenses that made human worlds untouchable. Veleth survived the collapse. Many leaders did not. He eventually made his way to Earth, not as a conqueror or even as a negotiator, but as a refugee. His own species had turned on its leadership when they learned the truth about Koravan history. He met Ambassador Chun on the same observation deck where he had once looked down at Earth with contempt. Now he looked up at the stars with something close to despair. "Why?" he asked her. "You could have destroyed us. You could have conquered us. Why reveal the truth instead?" Chum stood beside him, small and gray and calm as always. Empires built on lies always collapse eventually. We simply accelerated the process. And when the collapse came, it was not humans who caused it. It was not humans who could be blamed. Every species in the Consortium destroyed itself by its own actions, its own crimes, its own secrets. But what happens now? There is no order. There is no peace. Species that cooperated for millennia are at war. Yes, and species that were oppressed for millennia are now free. Former slaves now govern themselves. Former victims now choose their own futures. The old order was stable, but it was also evil. We chose chaos over controlled cruelty. Veleth stared at her. "You planned all of this before we even found you. You planned everything. Humans have a saying," Chine said. "Speak softly and carry a big stick." But we modified it. Speak once and carry the truth. Truth is the greatest weapon in the universe. Nothing survives it. Nothing escapes it. Not even civilizations that have lasted 12,000 years. She turned to leave, then paused. The Consortium collapsed completely because it deserved to collapse. Earth spoke once, and that was enough. Now the real work begins. Building something better from the ruins. You are welcome to help if you choose. Veleth watched her walk away. He thought about his species. He thought about the Consortium. He thought about all the lies he had believed and all the truths he had ignored. Then he followed her, because there was nothing else left to do except try to build something better from the ashes of everything he had known. Earth had spoken once. The galaxy would never be the same.